All right. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Today, we're going to take a look at some data tables, JavaScript and FileMaker, and we're going to work with data tables. I'm working on this for a client, and so I thought I would bring in some of this right here to see how it goes and, just have some fun with it. I don't know much about this streaming, so, we'll let it go and see what happens. All right, let's get started. So what I want to focus on today is working with the being able to select multiple rows or select any rows and do something with it. I want to study how data tables works with this and then apply it to a client file. So here it is in its basic form. I do have in the JavaScript here, I do have a place where I'm telling it to select. According to data tables documentation, this is the function that I would use. And when we click on a row here in this table that's in this div ID, I want you to toggle the class. That is, I want you to turn on selected or unselected or remove the class. So it's adding the class or removing the class. The class selected is found here, and it's just something, like I could do purple and then maybe color white. Yep. So if we reload that, now we get the selection. All right, good. So that's beautiful. I do have some counting functions that's counting how many rows are selected. If I do that, I've got one row selected. If I hold down Shift, I can select multiple. If I hold down Command, I can select non-contiguous ones. So this is pretty nice in that I can, I can do all this kind of work, and it's already built in. The data tables has a library extension called Select. It's right here, and it's being used for this functionality. So that's pretty cool. I appreciate that it's already built in. But what I'm trying to do here in this is understand how to work with the data that's in here. Because this is in FileMaker, I want to be able to get all of the IDs that are selected, of the rows that are selected, that is. So IDs of the rows that are selected, and that will work for me. Let's see here. All right. So let's do this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but we'll see. So I want to grab it. When I click, I can get the data, and I can get the IDs. I think I can get the IDs. So let's actually just do this. Let's create another variable, const rows equals table.rows selected, dot selected. That's the class that of the rows that have the selected, and then see what rows brings up. So we'll reload this, and we'll do a command click and just select 4 rows. In the inspector, okay, we're getting some error, but that's fine. Okay, so now it's telling me that I do have an array of the data, That's pretty good. That means that I know I can get the data out of each row as I'm working on it. And in this case, I want to get the ID field. So let's do that. Let's do data. I'm not sure. Let's try this. Dot field data dot ID. I don't know if that's going to work. We'll see here. Boom. And let's see what we got. So we got an object. We still got the field. Here, let's get rid of this stuff because it's just not doing anything good. Get rid of this. All right, let's reload that. All right, so I'm not getting anything. Did I console log this? Oh, I forgot to console log. And, oh, I don't know where my, all right, dot field data dot ID. This is the path inside of the FileMaker execute data API return value to give me the ID. So let's see if that works. Okay, it's giving me field data.id. Okay, so that is just not working at all. Okay, so let's try something else. I'm going to go to Datatables and look at their select idea method and see what I can do. So, okay, so select is a method. It's an event that is triggered when items are selected. Okay. So here's an example. We've got a table in a got a table in a variable, and we can add a select function that will get the ID out of there. Interesting. Okay, let's see how that works. Do something here. I've got something that I was working on. Let's see if this. Okay, so let's think about this. This returns right here. This returns an array of values. So what I'll just need to do is I need to go through each one of these and get out the value from that, from the from each of the elements of the array. Let's review that. Okay, so we've got console log.rows, reload, select 1, 2, 3, 4, and the inspect element. The last one is an array of each one of these. Okay, so we know we have an array. We know we have to get to that, to each element, the field data property, and the ID. Okay, we can do that. Oh, let's see here. So, excuse me, I'm coughing a lot this morning. Okay, so we've got the rows. We know we can get the rows. But I don't know. It's giving me a better way to do this, I think. Where did it go? It says, nope, not that. Right here, select. I think I want to use this on select. I'm not sure the difference between this, but what I'm doing is I'm putting a function on the entire row, and that could work. But because I'm using the selected property extension, probably I want to use that instead. So let's comment this out. That'll remove the click. Let's see, reload it. Huh, why am I still getting the click on there? Well, is it doing anything? Oh, it's doing that on its own without this because of that select method that I've got in here. Actually, I have select to be true. I'd forgotten about that. All right. So if I set that to false, there we go. No more select. Set it back to true. works. So it's really just doing it on its own. So it's applying the selected class that I have set up in my CSS on its own. That's brilliant. That's great. I don't need this function at all. Okay, but according to this documentation, what I could use is the onSelect. So table.onSelect. So in this case, I have table in the global space because it's a var and it's outside of the window.loadData function. So I'm going to try this. Table.onSelect. I want a function. There we go. So onSelect, I want you to run a function. And in this case, let's see, data type indexes. Console log. Let's I guess console.log type. See what that does. All right, so we load it, open up the inspector. Here it is. Click. Okay, so it's telling me that I'm clicking on a row. Okay, that's great. So we'll just say if type equals row. Yep, that's what I want. Then I'll see. I'm just directly copying this code. Where'd that go? Oh, here it is. Data. Okay. Table.row. Huh, this is interesting. Let's try this. Indexes. Oh, what is indexes? Let's see what indexes is. E-N-D-E-X-E-S. There we go. I need to just leave this up. So indexes is 1. So what is it giving me? It's giving me the indexes that I have clicked on. Well, I think the index, okay, the indexes are the index in the array. So let's reload this because I think I had it. This is in the data set. These two are like the 81st and 93rd value element in the array. So I'm not going to, I guess I could try that. Let's try this. If type equals row, type equals row, I have this 49-inch monitor and it still feels too small. Table.rows, this is interesting, .indexes.data. Let's see what that is. Const data equals table.rows.indexes console.log data. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I'm just getting the data out every time. I guess that's okay. Well, here's the thing. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get all of the indexes of the row, or all of the IDs, the primary keys of the row that I'm clicking on, the rows that I'm clicking on, and I want to pull out that. So I don't know, let's see if this works. Nope, doesn't work. All right. Here's what I'm going to do, because this is what I was thinking about earlier. I'm going to get all of the rows that have the selected. I'm going to get all of its data. So I'm going to borrow this function, put it up here. There's probably something to this stuff here. I just don't know what it is yet, so I have to explore it. All right, so there's the rows. Now, I think I want to do something like this. I want to get all of the rows IDs out. So it's telling me to do that. Let's see if this will work. Let's see what this comes up with. Console.log row IDs. Nope. Let's console log rows. Okay, yeah, oh, there it is. Okay, that's awesome. I'm actually getting all of the IDs. Beautiful. So every time I click on a row, I'm going to be able to get all of the IDs that have, of the rows that have been clicked on. So it seems a little redundant in that I am clicking, every time I click that runs and it generates a new array. But that's okay, I think. We'll see. All right. So let's get those into FileMaker. Actually, before I do that, I want to try something here. Let's solve this problem right now because I'm tired of this. Okay, so we'll move this over here behind me. I may have to get out of the way. There we go. Okay, so there we go. All right, reload it. Now, what if I click on one? I get the one ID down here at the bottom. That's great. What if I click on that again? What do I get? Did I get anything? Doesn't look like I got anything. Maybe because I'm not selecting them. Maybe because I'm deselecting them. All right, well, there's a deselect method. So let's do table.on. Actually, we'll just copy this and add this, deselect. Let's see what this does. Load it, select, unselect. Oh, okay. So now I'm able to get the IDs of everything that I'm clicking on every time, and if I unselect all of them, then I get an array with nothing in it. Perfect. Okay, that's what I want. Now I want to get these to FileMaker. So in this FileMaker app, I have a script called multi-select get IDs. All right, so let's copy the name. Copy the name. Go over here to JavaScript and let's write a function called const get selected rows, and eventually we're going to do the FileMaker.perform script, and we're going to give it, how do I do this? I like to do it like this, an object. Actually, in this case, just to be clear, this is an array. Let's do array IDs. All right. So let's see. Let's actually move these two down into this function. Okay, because we don't need them. We're duplicating it, and we don't need it twice. But instead, in this function, we're going to call get selected rows. So we're going to call this function. It's going to find the rows, the row IDs, and then we're going to const array IDs equals JSON.stringify row IDs. So this is necessary for it going back into FileMaker. So let's see. Every time we call this function, we're going to get the rows that have the data that I've selected. We're going to map over them and pull out the fielddata.id, or the primary keys value. That will turn it into an array, and then we're going to stringify it here and then pass it back to FileMaker. All right, so let's go back into FileMaker and do show custom dialog message. I'll just do list values because that's what's coming in. I'm selecting them to a global variable. All right, so let's see if this works now. Load. JSON.stringify. Why is that having problems? I'm not sure. But you know what? It's lunchtime, so I am going to stop and I'll pick this up later. All right, talk to you later.